So welcome to our leadership listening conversation for September. Can't believe it's September already. I'm Mark Blackman, USITT's Director of Engagement. This conversation originates from the USITT National Office, which is on the sacred, traditional, and stolen lands of the Onondaga people. With us today, chatting about our 2023 conference, are Jody Harris, our Director of Sales and Events, Lizz Allers, an Associate Director of Engagement, Leanne Quimby, who is pinch hitting just in case the hamsters that run Jody's internet die. She is our National Office Administrator. And we have our current president, Carolyn Satter. So welcome all. As I said, today's primary topic is our upcoming conference and Stage Expo, the 63rd annual, happening in St. Louis, Missouri on the 15th through the 18th of March, 2023. Please feel free to ask any questions you have during people's remarks. If you would, please raise your virtual hand found if you click reactions at the bottom of your screen, and we'll call on you. Also joining us is fellow former president and current interim executive director Lee Asbell Swinger, who just showed up in the top left-hand corner of my screen. Happy to see you all. Just so you know, we won't be closely monitoring the chat during this conversation, so please limit your use of chat for questions if at all possible. Once we've exhausted all questions on the topic of the conference, we'll open the floor to general questions if there are any. If we don't need the entire hour, we will end early. We will not go overtime, and we'll post a video link to the recording of this session at usitt.org/minutes is where they live. So again, welcome all, and Madam President, the con is yours.
Well, thank you. Thank you, and welcome to everyone who joins us on Leadership Listening. It's always kind of an interesting adventure for me, because I never know what is going to come up, and I try to give you the answers I can, and I will look for you the other answers that are out there. Because we have the folks presenting who are with us today, I want to give a huge shout out to our national office employees, to USITT volunteers, and to the exhibitors. These people are the backbone for the members, your member support for webinars, for the annual conference. They all have a passion for what we have a passion for, and by God, we have the A-team, without a doubt. So again, my personal support, whatever I can do for you, and just a huge thank you for what you guys do to keep us on track.
Thank you, Carolyn. Shall we just jump right into things and have Jody perhaps talk to us about what's happening in Stage Expo world?
Mark, Lee has her hand up.
Yep.
Lee, do you have your hand up, or it's been up? I'm sorry.
Well, it's okay. That's how I jumped to the top corner of your screen. But I do have a question, because unfortunately, we all know that we skipped a couple of conferences. So we're counting the years, but just for accuracy's sake, we are not at 63 actual conferences, correct?
Technically, given the conference that you presided over that didn't happen, this is 62. But
welcome to my soapbox, Lee. This is
it gets so complicated. We decided to count both the one that didn't happen and the one that was virtual. The virtual one does count.
Yes, it does. It does. Fair
So
enough.
it's 62, but oh Lord.
I just wanted to brighten your day, Mark. That's all.
Thank you. I appreciate it always.
63rd annual, 62nd actual.
Yes,
There you go.
there you go. There's always now and forevermore, there is an asterisk in our list of conferences. Yes, but Jody Harris, please tell us something about Stage Expo 23.
Well, hello, good afternoon, everyone. It's nice to see everybody's face. We are delighted to report that we have 185 exhibitors signed up for Expo. And that's a testament really to the exhibitors and to their support and support for USITT. This is really coming off the momentum of the Baltimore show. And truth be known, we really haven't done a lot of promotion, and that is yet to come. So really hope that we are able to sell out the expo floor this year. That would be a great achievement. And Leanne and I are just busy trying to get our website up and running so that when we are ready to launch and registration opens, that we hope to get some new exhibitors and some people that have been waiting, but we hope to end up at over 300 exhibitors. So we are well on our way. And we have a lot of exciting things that are being planned. And I don't want to give away all the secrets, so we'll just have to tease you with that information.
Give away one or two.
Well, what we're, we have our show opening on Thursday, and we have decided to do our big event that we normally have usually on a Saturday. Last year it changed to a Friday, and this year we're actually going to have it at on Thursday, and it's going to be at the City Museum. So that seemed to be a really popular choice for our attendees and for exhibitors, and people were really excited about that. So that will be Thursday night, and that's really a nice opportunity on a social level to meet the exhibitors, talk with the exhibitors, and then they have enough time to follow up the next day. So we have that planned for Thursday night. And then Friday, since it happens to be St. Patrick's Day, we have some fun surprises and basically a party planned for a St. Patrick's Day party on the trade show floor. So we have that coming and some exciting tours on Saturday. So stay tuned. There's more to follow. And Mark mentioned my internet and I live in the middle of nowhere. So I'm going to put Leanne on the spot here, and maybe Leanne, you can talk a little bit about our sponsorships just in case I get kicked off, because we have some new exciting sponsorships that we are going to be unveiling in a few weeks. But I'll let Leanne tell us a little bit about sponsorships.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Sponsorships, like Jody said, we're just beginning to dig into those. We do have a few sponsors so far for USITT 2023. And we have some new and exciting ideas for some upcoming sponsorships around the corner that have to do with students, trying to sponsor students to come to the conference. We are working on some different areas of the show floor sponsorships as far as a book signing event, things of that nature. So we're trying to expand those sponsorships to get more exhibitors involved and just to try some new things for a change and see how that goes.
Jody, if someone hasn't signed up to be an exhibitor yet, how do they reserve their space?
It's fairly simple. They can just send an email to the info website. They can contact me directly at Jody, Jody at USITT.org, or to Leanne, and we'd be happy to set them up with information. It's also on our website at USITT.org. So we're trying to make it simple for people. If you're a member, that is a a preferred way to go, just because you will have some advantages in terms of booth spaces. Yep, definitely just give us a call or send us an email and we'd be happy to take care of.
Ford, you have a question?
I do. Do we currently have anything planned? One of the things that I thought that went really well at the last one was the stuff that we did with ESTA, specifically around behind the scenes and around, kind of coordinating efforts. Do you know of any other plans relating to that for the next expo?
Actually, if this is directed to me, I'm sorry. We just had a conversation today about this, and it's something that we're still working on, and not exactly sure, but we do have a lot of partner associations that we are working with right now, so that will definitely come. And more, I would say more information is coming.
Yeah, it's a great question. And I will say that ESTA and behind the scenes have been really good partners with us. A lot of our exhibiting companies are also highly involved, especially in behind the scenes. So there certainly should be something with that. Jody, in terms of, I don't even know if you can answer this, and I just happen the number you gave earlier about how many booths have been sold and what percentage of space, is that on par with, back in the old timey days when when we used to have a full trade show floor? Are we basically on par for this time of year, roughly? Or
well, I wish I had that information. I would say that we are. I mean, I was sort of comparing ourselves a little bit to Baltimore, and that's not a year. It was just sort of out of the norm. But I would say we're a little bit ahead of where we were. So we're pretty excited about our position right now. And I wanted to mention too that we are doing a huge focus on recruiting, because last year in Baltimore, our interviewing area and the recruitment efforts just seemed to be a focus for a lot of our exhibitors. So we'd like to put some attention in that. In the middle of the floor, we have a huge area that's going to be basically Jobs USITT area. And we're trying to work with some of our partners in terms of how to do job match and really be a user-friendly opportunity really for our attendees. So that is something that we're focusing on. We're excited about that.
And I can certainly say that I would venture to guess that virtually everyone who is exhibiting is looking to hire somebody.
Yes.
And that's and we need to sort of take advantage of that. Also, if you look at the number of jobs currently on Jobs USITT, it just grows every day.
Yeah,
so
I actually have a fun fact to share with you, and that is our decorator, our show decorator, Shepherd, they had mentioned to me last year that a stage manager is an excellent recruit for them. And so this year, Leanne and I actually were successful in selling them a booth at our show.
Yes, Deb, sure.
Circling back to conversations we had post last conference, a lot of the hiring areas and general seating areas on the floor were not accessible. There were a lot of high tops and not a lot of standard chairs. So we had folks have a hard time finding a place to interview someone if they used a mobility device or simply were not comfortable with a high top chair. So I think I just want to bring that back to the forefront because that had not previously been an issue, and then we didn't have in-person conferences for 2 years. So I just want to make sure that that gets still in the conversation. And also that resume doctors would still love to reach out to our exhibitors, because a lot of them mentioned, oh, I didn't realize you had this on the floor. I'd love to help out because that helps me with recruitment. So I'd love to bring that conversation back around sometime to invite them officially, as opposed to when I shake their hands and then just walk them over, to be a part of Resume Doctors as part of their involvement while they're at conference. While they're there, might as well. They're bringing their HR guys.
That's a
now.
great
It's really
idea.
lovely.
I'll definitely follow up with you on that, Deb.
Awesome. Thank you, Jody.
Anyone else have any questions for Jody about the expo? And if you want to be a sponsor, you can also get in touch with Jody. She's happy to take your money. I mean, your email, both. I want to have, if you've got any questions about Expo or anything like that, we can certainly come back to it. But right now, I want to jump in and have Lizz Allers talk to you about some of our awards programs and what we have planned for that. So Liz.
Hi, everyone. As Mark said, I wanted to just remind you, or perhaps let you know for the first time, about some of the awards that we have open right now for nominations. These awards are to recognize students and young professionals for their work, and we hope that they are a great way to get these younger designers and managers and technicians involved in not only the conference, but also in USITT. So if you know anyone that you think would be fitting for these awards, please send us information to them or nominate them. So we have our biggest award that we have open right now is the Young Designers, Managers, and Technicians Award. This is actually one umbrella award that has several awards underneath it in the areas of technical production, sound, costumes, scenic technology, lighting design, scene design, stage properties, makeup design, and stage management. These are for undergraduate, graduate students, or recent graduates. The eligibility kind of varies a little bit between the different awards under this umbrella. These are, you can nominate someone else for these awards or nominate yourself. So if you know anyone who's interested, they can nominate themselves. They don't need a nomination. And these are open now through November 1st. And I think Leanne just shared in the chat. Yeah, all of these are linked on our website. The other one that we have open right now for young professionals is the Rising Star Award. And this is for people who are in the first 4 years of professional work in the fields of lighting, sound, scene, and projection design. And LDI sponsors this award along with us. This award is accepting nominations through November 17th. That's also linked on the awards page of our website. The last award that we have open right now is actually the Wally Russell Award, which is for someone who mentors young professionals and who has an extraordinary history of that mentorship in the field. This is offered in partnership with the Wally Russell Foundation. Nominations for this award are being accepted through November 3rd. That is also linked on our website. And then in addition to awards, we have some other opportunities for students and young professionals that we are accepting nominations and applications for right now. The Gateway program, which is a mentorship program for people who identify with an underrepresented population. They're accepting applications through October 1st. So you have a couple of days to get those in if you know anyone who's interested in that. We also have the Sherry Wagner Henry Board Fellowship program, which is accepting applications through October 13th. And we have the Stage Management Mentorship Program, which is accepting applications through November 3rd. And those are on our website. Many of them are linked from the homepage or, oh, thank you, Leanne is sharing the links in the chat. We also right now have the rigging safety grants open through October 20th. Those are grants for secondary schools to be able to get rigging safety inspections of their facility, which is something that's very important to us. So those grant applications are accepted through October 20th. And those applications are good for 3 years as well. So if you put in an application now and are not accepted this cycle, they stay kind of in the system for 3 years as well. So that's what we have open right now. If anyone has any questions for me about those.
I think that I would really encourage you, if you do know, especially any students who are about to graduate or young professionals, to nominate someone or let them know about these awards. The YMDT Awards are really an important stepping stone for a lot of people. There's not a conference ever that someone doesn't say to me in some sort of conversation, you know, I won the KM Fabrics Technical Production Award, making it up, in 1987, and it changed my life, always. And so I think that the more people that we can get into these awards programs, the better off we'll all be, certainly as an industry. So the one thing, this is not necessarily an awards program, but talk to me, just to tell everybody just a little bit, Liz, if I can put you on the spot, about student assistance, because that's something else that's open right now.
Yeah, it is. So student assistants come to the conference and they agree to work usually around 15 hours in exchange for their conference fee being covered. We need student assistance in many different areas. Things like scanning badges at doors, monitoring events, being runners for things. There's also main stage assistants, which help with load in and load out of the main stage areas and the bigger events. And that program is filling up pretty quick, and we haven't even opened conference registration yet. So I would say if you know any students who are interested in that program, to have them apply sooner than later. They do need to be current student or early career members of USITT in order to be eligible. But it's a really great opportunity for them to, like I said, work about 15 hours in exchange for getting to attend the conference. Also getting to meet all the other students who are also working as part of the program, and to make great connections and get some kind of real world experience working events.
Mark?
Yes, Carolyn.
For Liz, does that program begin on the opening day, or does it back up prior to the opening of conference, the student assistant program for those?
So the main stage assistants are there before and after the conference period because they're loading in and loading out. The student assistants themselves, there's a variety within the week of positions and things that need student assistance. So when they're accepted to the program, they can select areas that they're interested in working in. And then they coordinate the schedule with Jason Foreman about when they're going to be arriving, when they're flying out. And so he matches them to the areas that fit their schedule and their interests.
Good, thanks.
Anything else for Liz on awards? There are other awards. I just thought of, there are other awards that you didn't talk about, but most of those awards have already been chosen, yes?
Or are in the process of judging.
In the process.
Yep.
So they're the old professional awards.
For the old professionals?
Yeah, the old professionals. But we don't call them that.
Get off my lawn.
Christine Troscher couldn't be here today. She's out sick. She was going to give us a little bit of an update of where we are on conference programming. Lee, is there anything you know about this that you would like to share for the good of the order?
Well, I know that it is in process. They have a very detailed timeline that that is part of the programming process. And most of this goes through and is coordinated in consultation with the individual commissions. But there are also opportunities in that timeline to integrate exhibitor programming and other opportunities for specialized programming as some things come up along the path. My understanding is the commission timeline piece of this has just recently finalized their approved lists of programming they are most interested in moving forward. So that's where that is right now. The next step, and that is mid-process of reaching out to the folks that will be the actual presenters in those sessions and confirming their participation and working through some details like agreements and such. So there's still lots more to do. All of this at some point translates into a schedule. And I do know that part of this process is also asking the commissions to identify their best case scenario for where things would land. And as you all know, we have this is for Tammy honesty, we have a very special algorithm that allows us to specifically schedule the two things that every member wishes to see at the same time, so that you have to make choices.
We got to be good at something.
Oh,
It's been
come
in
on.
place since 1960.
Excellent. In Baltimore, we started down a really interesting path with some hands-on labs. I know that that's very much Christine's area of expertise, so I don't know that if we can really say anything other than there are going to be labs. They are going to be exciting, and you should come and experience them. I personally know nothing other than that. Although I do think that they're in the process of finalizing what the content will be for them.
That is correct.
Okay, excellent. I will tell you briefly that registration for members only will open on November the 15th. It will open for the general public on December the 1st. Jody and I have yet another fun meeting with eShow on Friday. So we're moving all of that forward. Is there any question of any nature whatsoever about conference or Stage Expo that we could help you with? Yes, ma'am.
Just as an added bonus, this is a Prague quadrennial year. So on the expo floor, the Prague exhibits will be available and viewable, and before they pack up and ship across the deep blue sea to Prague. So just for those that are interested in that program, I just noticed the framed piece behind Leanne's head, which reminded me that that is a thing we do every 4 years, and this is that year.
This is also a design expo year, in case anybody needs to know that as well.
And we are doing that this year?
We are doing that this year.
And is there a deadline marked the applications for that, by the way?
Well, that is an excellent question that I do not have the answer to. I know Jim Streeter would probably have the answer to that. I can get that answer.
I think that would probably maybe have it show up in weekly news.
Yep.
That would be a good idea, right?
I will write that down. Okay. Anything else on conference? Anything else, period, of any nature whatsoever.
How are student section reapplication years doing? Are we student chapters coming back after a weird 2 years of who knows what?
Some, yeah. Leanne, you've probably had more hands-on in that than anybody.
Yeah, we've actually seen a lot of new schools come through
New.
here, which is very exciting. We obviously have those that return year after year, but I've been surprised to see how many new schools have put their application forth. This is open until October 14th or 15th, somewhere around there. So we'll see a push come through the 13th. But other than that, it's been nice to see the new schools. going in.
Awesome, that's great.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, we have lost a good number of student chapters. There's no question, just like we've lost so many student members over the course of the pandemic. We're actually coming to an interesting junction right now, which is why we're working with some key different people to come up with other ways to reach into some of these schools with technical theater programs, colleges and universities especially. We're coming to the 2023 conference for many of these students. A lot of people, their freshman year, they will get sort of an understanding of, or even hear the USITT at sort of the end of that first year. Well, now we're having people who are seniors who have basically had no contact with us whatsoever, or just barely had that at the beginning. So we're seeing we've lost almost an entire cohort. And you can very much see that in the member numbers. Of the schools that are really interested and involved in USITT, you still see a good number of student members, but it really takes a dedicated staff person to really start, going to that. So the more, this is one of those areas where I think if you've got any inroads into any colleges or universities, please let us know, because I'll take any help I can get. Yes, Ford.
Is there a way that manufacturers like me that we can assist with that? I don't know. I know there's no formal way, at least that I'm aware of, but it might be worth talking, us as a group. We can either do it at the next conference, or we can try and set something up independently where, if we're going and we're doing sales demos at a university, or we're going and, any opportunities like that, to also have some USITT literature or some whatever. I mean, I could easily give that to my spec sales team today, if such a thing existed.
Leanne can get that right out to you.
But
There are pens, there are Post-it notes, there are things to wipe your screens off with, there are pamphlets.
The pamphlets, I think, specifically talking about, what are the benefits for a student chapter, how easy it is, how much fun it is, that kind of stuff is stuff that I think we could easily distribute with all of our other stuff. Hi, Tammy, I'll let you talk now.
No, mine was just a yes and to what you were talking about, is that last year, or maybe it was the year before, I don't know, it was sometimes during the pandemic, I created with David, a letter for faculty and students to give their administration of why it's important to go to USITT. So it's somewhere electronically. I could look for it in my thing, but yeah, it's somewhere.
Very good.
So there's
So-
that part, and then I think there's just for us as manufacturers, the opportunity to kind of advertise USITT to whomever we're talking to. And, you know, that could be students, or it could be young professionals, or it could be lighting design firms, or it could be, so.
Yeah. I just was a document that could help those people then maybe get time off too.
Yeah. And to your point, Ford, I think that it's, I'm sure Jody will be in touch. Let's just say that. Because I know her, she'll be in touch. But it's a great idea. Terrific. Thank you so much.
And I'd second that, Ford. Because I was just thinking exhibitors have that natural in a city connect with universities and that. I'm just thinking of these associations in San Diego. But you guys have a relationship that a lot of us do not have. And thank you, thank you, thank you.
Any other questions? General or specific? Very quiet group today. Everybody's waiting for the hurricane to come on shore in Florida, I guess.
Oh, don't say that. Don't give it
Ugh.
any more energy than it has.
I think they just said that it did.
Oh,
Yeah, I was looking that way right before I jumped on this. So if I will end this with coming full circle to Ms. Satter. Do you have any wise words to send people into the world with?
not today. We have, the board has their next board meeting coming up on October the 4th. We are now doing monthly board meetings, just because for the business that is at hand, the search is moving along at a pace that is acceptable, I would say, and cautious. So that is happening. I think that's it. Again, kudos to the team, for the national office team, our volunteers, exhibitors. It's just, you guys make USITT what it is. So thank you.